Awesome. So we'll just flip what we did in class today. Like we did glazing first, and then we did our slab. So we'll just do the slab first, so that Chandler, you can do that first with us. So what you will need today is we're gonna start out with like a slab of clay. Did the slabs? Do you remember, Chandler? I've got a little hunk of clay. I'm just gonna wedge it like we did. And what we're doing with this tomorrow, like today, we're just gonna cut out like a picture, kind of like a cookie, like it's a cookie cutter or something, but just cut out whatever photo you can, or whatever picture you can put your hand on the clay and trace around it. Really any shape. You could even just do like a circle or a square. And that's just gonna be your canvas for tomorrow. So tomorrow we're gonna take that slab and we are going to paint. We're gonna glaze on it, and then we're gonna scrapey tool, and we're gonna scrape and like carve.
What are we gonna do?
Areas. So we are taking, let's see, like here's a hand. We're gonna take this slab or our shape, and we're gonna just like paint on it. We're gonna paint the whole thing, and then we're gonna take one of those scrape tools, and we're gonna scrape out little pictures. So when it fires, everything that is carved out is gonna be like the raw clay, and then anything that's painted will be painted. Like scraping out drawings.
Like a drawing? So we're making drawings basically?
Yeah, we're making drawings basically. So today we're getting that all prepped for tomorrow. So some people did, we've got like this little house is really cute idea. Or you can do like stars and moons or hearts or flowers, or all of them. You can do as many as you want. So I'm just wedging my clay, flattening it out. And then I've got this tool. And you don't want to make it too thin, especially because we're going to be carving out little drawings in it. So you want it to be thick enough that you're not like cutting the whole piece when you're cutting out the drawings.
Yeah.
So like that's probably like a good thickness. What are you gonna make, Aparna?
I don't know yet.
Cool.
Wait, so I went to go get something. Are we supposed to like do the like wedge it or something?
Yeah, so wedge it and then kind of throw it down. Remember I guess it was a couple weeks ago now, when we made those slabs, you wedge it, but then you kind of start throwing it down. You're like throwing it down. And you get it pretty flat, and then you take your roller tool and then you can roll it out.
It's hard.
We don't want it too thin. This is probably the thinnest that you want it. You could probably even go a little thicker than that. So that then when we do carve into it tomorrow, you're not making it too thin, you know?
Okay.
So Chandler, I was showing Karna, these are some of the ones from class. Like a little house is a really cute idea. And like you can see that's a really good thickness.
Mhm.
Like no thicker, thinner than your pinky.
Yeah, no thinner than your pinky. A lot of people did hands. They just traced their hand out. That's a really fun one. You can do all of those ideas or none of the ideas. And you could even just do a circle because you're going to be drawing in it. You're going to be painting it. So if you want to do just a square circle and then do
So it has to be thick. It has to still be thick.
it has to be thick. Yeah.
Okay.
Here, like, did you see the thickness of the house?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like no thicker than this.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I want it to be somewhat thick. And then it's whatever y'all want. I'm gonna grab my cookie tool.
The pinch pot that I glazed there, it had flowers on it.
And then what do we do?
And then you just like cut out whatever you want, cut out different shapes. The shapes that we're gonna be drawing on tomorrow.
My knees are literally on a chair because I'm not tall enough to stand up.
Oh, yeah.
Tall enough, but it doesn't give enough.
What are you gonna draw, Emily? Emily, what are you gonna draw?
I don't know. I don't know. I liked the idea of the house, but like I think I'm gonna do like a star, but one of those stars that have like a bunch of points.
You can make a little fish bowl, but then you can, or you can like make the bowl and the fish separate, or you could just wait until tomorrow when you glaze and add the fish.
That'd be cute. Yeah, you could do like a fish bowl, and then you could do all of the drawing inside of it, like with the fish.
I might do a flower and then just draw inside of it.
Yeah. So just wait to draw inside of it tomorrow. Do like the outside.
Do you think I wedged enough?
Yeah, I think you did. And it's gonna be flattened out.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just gonna make like a funky star. And like, that's it. Let's see, maybe I'll make
That's what I'm supposed to do.
made like an outline of some glasses.
I wonder where the fire cup is going.
How's your week been, Aparna?
It's okay. It's been going good. Yeah.
Do anything fun?
No. I mean, I did watch Black Widow.
Oh, what's that? Is that a superhero?
Yeah.
Oh, is it good?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I should watch it. It's on Disney Plus, right?
Yes.
I'm supposed to do this. And once I get it flat enough, then I can roll
Yeah.
it out.
I'm really into that show, the what's it called? The Mysterious
Now I'll roll it.
Benedict Society. Have you heard of it?
No.
It's on Disney Plus. It's really good. It's really, really like funny. It's kind of like Lemony Snicket.
My dad doesn't want me to ping on the table because he said I'll mess up the table. So that means I have to roll it out. So.
But I bet your clay is good in wedged.
Well, not wedging, but like, like making it flat.
Oh.
It says since I'm banging it so hard, it'll mess up the table. So I'm gonna have to roll it out. But I did it enough so I can roll it out, so it'll be okay.
And I'm just smoothing out my edges because like sometimes when I'm like cutting them, there's just like little like pieces of clay that kind of balls up. So I'm just gonna like smooth them all out.
Is that an air bubble?
You see an air bubble?
I can't tell.
I bet it's good. I bet it's fine.
Let's see. Yeah, I can roll it out more. Yeah.
Are you making a flower, Aparna?
Not really, but I'm working on it.
Okay.
Not really a flower, but.
I mean, it doesn't really have to be like anything, it can just be a shape.
I was thinking about making a flower until I thought of the fish bowl.
Mm. Yeah, the shape is just the outer can't it's just what we're going to be drawing on. So the wow factor is going to be the drawing and the glazing, all the fun colors. So you don't have to worry too much about the shape. I mean, look at mine. It's like really wonky. But like, I think it's pretty.
Yeah, this is what mine is. Here, 1 minute. Let me just this is mine.
Oh, cute, cute. It's kind of a cloud.
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes it's fun to just like make something and then kind of figure out what it is later.
I have a question.
Uh-huh.
So once we're done with like doing this clay and then glazing the clay tomorrow, are you gonna fire it?
We are gonna fire it, yeah.
Once we're done glazing it?
Uh-huh. Okay. Yeah, so this method, you don't have to glaze it before, or you don't have to fire it before you glaze it. We're not firing it like today. We're just gonna glaze it tomorrow, but then we will fire it. We will fire it. And then all that glaze will come out really, really bright and beautiful, and your piece will be like a normal ceramic. It'll be hard. It won't be brittle. This is just one of the methods. Bring
what do we do now?
Bring what you're making right now in tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
Yeah, this slab, this is what, then we're going to be glazing it and doing all that tomorrow.
So tomorrow we glaze?
But today we are, I
wasn't here. Yeah, I wasn't here for the glazing.
So
today.
yeah. So once we are finished with the slab, you and I, Aparna, are going to glaze our pinch pots. Yeah. Does that sound like a plan? Do you have your pinch pots with you? Okay, cool. And you've got that little little jars of glaze?
Yeah, I have them.
Okay, cool, cool, perfect.
I did make a mark inside, but I'm going to erase it when I'm done, so then it can be like, so I know what I'm doing.
Okay,
Like,
yeah. And then Aparna, whenever you're ready, we can start glazing too, because I want you to have a good amount of time to glaze. And that's my little wonky funky star. I'm just taking the water and smoothing it out because I want it to be really smooth. And y'all can make more than one of these slab pieces. As many as you'd like.
Yeah, and then look, I just added some water to the to my slab.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Yeah. I'm doing that too. Smoothing it out.
Yeah, and then
And that's it.
and then what? And then so what do I do with this?
So are you finished with your slab?
I think so.
Okay, great. So put that aside, put it in a bag and save it for tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll go get one in a minute.
Okay, yeah, just set it on the side because then you and I, Aparna, can start glazing.
Yeah, I'll be right back. I'm not ready yet.
Sure.
Yeah, I have some air bubbles still in there. I still have some air bubbles there.
Oh, if you have air bubbles, try to like squeeze them out. You can like kind of put your.
I just pop, like I just try to, I don't know what to do.
Yeah, just kind of pop them.
Yeah, that's what I tried doing.
You
That's
can
what I'm
like
trying to
squeeze them
do.
out.
Yeah, I'm just gonna cover the try.
How's your slab, Chandler?
Going well.
Good. Oh, cute.
It's like a
So
heart.
fun. Are you making just one, Chandler, slab?
Well, well, this is one, but then I'm gonna make a smaller.
Yeah, 1
Okay,
minute.
cool.
Yeah, I'm just wrapping it up.
Okay, great.
I need this. I need this.
What?
For my plate.
Need some additional papers to put on this thing?
No, I have some.
Okay, need more.
Okay.
So yeah, I think we can start.
Okay, cool. So in your little packet or in your box of glazes, there are some with stars on them and then there's some without. Today we need to use the ones that don't have the stars on the top.
That don't have the stars?
Yeah. So that's just regular glaze and it's the brand is
So I have to use the ones without the stars.
yeah, no stars. And it looks like the glazes look weird, like look really chalky and they look kind of really like white or grayed down. But when we fire them in the kiln, all of the colors are gonna pop.
Yeah.
Colors are gonna look like, they're gonna act like watercolors.
Yeah, watercolors.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
which one are we doing?
when you're actually painting, they feel like it feels like you're painting with chalk.
When you're painting with chalk.
It
Okay.
feels like you're painting with chalk. You'll see. But like the way that they'll kind of mix together. So if I put, say, like if I paint my whole plate yellow and then I put like some red on top, it might come out, the red might come out a little bit orange. You know, it's
Yeah, I've seen it.
yeah.
So which one are we doing? Because I have the 5 coil pots.
So do you have a pinch pot?
Yeah, I have 5. The 5 one from a couple weeks ago.
Okay, do the one like the ones that we did where we just like pinched them.
Yeah. Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, that one. And then I'm just using just a plate. Really?
Yeah, so we just paint.
And we're just gonna paint, yeah. I've got a glass of water and some paintbrushes, and we're just painting.
Yeah, I have some paint. Yeah, so I have the 6 colors.
So I think I'm gonna paint my whole plate white first, and then start doing little decorations. Yeah. And like the more coats you make, the more coats you do, the more solid the colors will come out. But if you want it to be like a really light, fun wash, then you can just do like one like really watered down coat. This will come out all
Yeah.
If you cover the whole thing, it'll come out really, really glossy.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm painting. Yeah, cool. I'm gonna paint.
Chandler painted a really beautiful mug today. And she did all different kinds of she did a flower on the bottom of it, and the flower is kind of like coming up on the sides.
Well, I mean, mine broke, but I'm okay because it's not the first time it broke. Like my coil pot from 3D it broke as well.
Oh no. It
yeah.
happens. It happens. Stuff you
Yeah.
always explode in the kiln.
Yeah, so do we do like how many coats?
So that's just up to you. You can, it's what you want it to look like. So if you want it to be like really, really thick color, then you just do, then you can do like 3 coats.
Yeah, I'll try like 3.
Yeah. Like, I think I'm gonna do like one thick coat of white on mine, and then I'm coloring the rest of it with, and then I'm gonna flowers on top. Because I just kind of want to see what the colors like mixing with the white will look like.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So, for my like, you know, like this, can I add like, can I
Wait, I'm sorry. It's really low audio on yours.
can I score on like other pieces of clay?
You can. We weren't doing that, like scoring, because we weren't matching anything. We just wanted it to be a slab. But if you want, I mean, you know how to score it. If you really want to, you can totally do that. We don't want to, discourage your creative ideas. So if you have an idea that yes, do what you want. But make sure that like it's all scored and slipped. Good at that. So you can. What are you attaching?
Like a little flower.
Oh, cute. Cool.
Not very big.
Yes, exactly. That's the one. Yeah, that's the one.
Okay, so I'm just doing my white layer. Mine has like a lot of little bubbles because I did the texture on this one, but I'm just trying to get all of the paint inside of the bubbles because I want it to be like really shiny. And if there's areas that don't have that much glaze on them, then they won't come out as shiny as the other areas. And these colors are going to come out so much brighter. Do you know what I mean now?
How are they gonna get brighter though?
Well, when we fire them, that it reacts, the colors like all react to the heat, and they like burst. I don't know. They come out a lot brighter.
There were 3 left, so
Yeah. They come out bright. Flipping this over. It dries pretty fast, so I'm just gonna flip it over.
Yeah, and it soaks up pretty fast.
Uh-huh, it does. Yeah, like it's so chalky.
And then tomorrow do we glaze a separate one or do we glaze? How are we gonna do it?
Tomorrow we're glazing the that slab you just made.
The slab?
Yeah, the slab. Tomorrow we're glazing that slab. So we're doing like all these different techniques all week long. Tomorrow we actually are going to we're gonna glaze one of the pots that we've done, but then we're also gonna glaze the slab, and we're doing that like drawing method where we are glazing it and then like painting it, and then we're carving out like a drawing. So then when we do fire it, it will, the drawing, like all of the parts that you drew and all the parts that you carved out is not going to have any glaze on it, and then everything
So
else.
what?
Like, it's like this. We're going to like paint. We're going to paint it like here. And then we're taking a tool and we're like carving. So then it's like when you carve it, you're taking away, you're picking all of that paint back up. You're carving away where the glaze is. So that we're gonna do that on the on that slab that we just made.
Mm.
So what we're painting right now is finishing today. You know, we're painting a full, what you want your little pinch pot to look like.
Mm.
And then we're just gonna learn some new methods tomorrow. Because there's all different kinds of way to glaze. There's, you know, you have the glazes with the stars, that's underglaze. And so that's going to be a glaze that doesn't come out shiny automatically. And then you have to make it shiny. You have to put that shiny glaze on top. So we're trying to teach y'all all the different ways. And don't forget about like all of the little edges. If you see some clay, you want to cover all of the clay with glaze, or else there'll be like little areas that are porous and rough. And once this is all like glazed and everything is fired and finished, you can actually eat off of or drink out of your pottery, your ceramics. Which is pretty cool. I think it's pretty cool. Do y'all have any like ceramic like mugs or anything that that you use? That you made from like your 2D art class?
No.
No. What about you, Chandler?
No.
Well, my mom used to make little mugs and we used to love drinking out of the mugs. I think it's so fun using things that you make. Okay, so I did a really thick layer of white. And then I'm gonna put some purples and red and green and yellow. You have all the names of the colors, right, Aparna?
What do you mean names? I mean, I have red, green, yellow, and blue, but
Okay, good. Yeah, just like this one is called like hot tamale. So it's like, okay, even though like it comes out and it looks like this, I know since it's called hot tamale that it's gonna look like the color of a hot tamale, you know? Or like our apple, even though it's kind of like a really dull green, I know it's gonna be like a bright green. And that helps me when I'm glazing.
and then can I paint the inside?
Yeah, yeah. Paint the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Paint the whole thing. I'm just gonna paint some abstract little flowers. It's okay if they don't look like flowers. Just kind of make some patterns.
Okay.
I like to just kind of just experiment with what I'm making. Let's see. I'm just making some kind of dots on my. I think my plate's gonna look really watercolory.
Yeah.
Making it really light. Did you do anything fun this weekend?
No, I don't think so.
Did you watch anything fun?
No, but I hear like another season of one of my favorite shows, Never Have I Ever. It's coming.
Oh. Oh yeah, I think I watched some of that.
It's funny. It's a funny show.
Yeah. I think like the main character is like really cute. Like she's really sweet.
Yeah, she's funny too.
Yeah, yeah. She's really funny.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I should watch the rest of that.
Yeah.
Especially if a new.
So we have 2 white glazes. We have 2 white.
So use the one that doesn't have a star on it.
No, neither have a star.
Okay. Do they both just say white glaze?
Yeah. Yeah.
Then I think that should be fine. Yeah.
Okay.
Use either of them.
Yeah. What is the one with the star though? Why is it?
They're underglazes. So the ones with
an underglaze.
that is it fires at a different temperature. It's and it's not glossy. So you have to paint the underglaze and fire that. And then you have to paint a glossy finish over that.
Mhm.
It's just kind of a different method. Just a different method. And we're going to be using those. We're just not doing that today.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Just not today. Yeah, my plate, I did like dry flower pressing in it. So now like my paint on top of it, I kind of want it to look like dried flowers.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of cool.
I can see the design from here and it looks cool.
Yeah. It'd be kind of fun. Just like really girly and pretty. All of my flowers, I'm just like dotting. They're not really real flowers. I'm just taking my paintbrush and making little dots.
Simple flowers when you're painting is easy. You just like paint a little dot and then like you stroke like the brush outside on all sides of the dot and then like you have a flower.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, flowers are organic shapes, so like they're not perfect in real life.
Yeah.
And it's cool. My paintbrush is like making a cool little technique because there's like kind of a hole in the inside of it. So it's making that. It actually looks like these perfect little flowers. It'd be cool. I wasn't gonna make a design, but I guess now that I put, or like a pattern, but then I just started doing like yellow little dots in between all of the purple ones and bam, I had a pattern.
Yeah, I love this white color. I love it.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, the white is really cool.
Wait, so what about the bottom? I know I learned not to paint the bottom, but what do I do here? Because I accidentally got some on the bottom,
Oh, that's okay. That's okay.
like on the rim.
We can paint, you can paint the bottoms.
We can?
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, cool, cool. Great. Okay, so that's a rule other places that they don't, because they don't have the stilts.
Well, probably it just takes, if you're firing en masse,
Uh-huh.
you know, like a
Yeah.
t-shirt, it makes
Yeah.
it much harder to load the kiln if you have glaze on the bottom.
Sure.
So that's probably why it's just easier, but it's fine. We're not firing up many things, so they can glaze the bottom.
Okay, cool.
green.
How's your pot, Aparna?
It's going okay.
Good. I'm just going to grab a darker green. And I can put a little darker green, kind of where I put my other green, and give it some depth. Got 2 greens. Okay, and I finished my plate. You'll see it. Not gonna look pretty.
I'm not finished yet. So.
That's okay. Good, because I accidentally. We're not. But actually, we can also, I can sponge it off, right?
Yeah, but it's not necessary.
Okay, okay. Yeah, still.
Yeah, yeah.
Fun. Ooh, I'm so excited to see how these turn out.
So we have to send them in tomorrow?
We'll pick up Aparna's.
Yeah, and we'll probably have our intern who lives in.
Wait, so what do we send in tomorrow?
Oh, you don't need to send in anything tomorrow. We will, we were talking about our intern dropping off the transfer papers for Friday.
Okay,
Mhm.
so she can pick up then.
Yeah, yeah. But that slab that we're making, that we just made for tomorrow, it doesn't need to be filed for you to do what you need to do tomorrow. That's the
Wait, so what? So what?
So you're good for tomorrow. You're good for tomorrow.
So I don't have to bring in today's slab?
Yeah, yeah. Have the slab that you did today. You'll have that tomorrow, but we don't need to fire it.
Oh, so we don't have to drop it in?
No. You won't need to, yeah, we don't need to fire it for tomorrow.
Oh.
From right here, it looks like there's a rose in the middle of your plate and there's little flowers on the outside.
Yeah, that's what I kind of tried to do, but like in a really abstracted way. So it's working? My little flower plate?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and then so on Fridays when we drop everything off, right?
So on Friday, we're gonna drop something off for you for the Friday class.
Mhm.
Friday is when the class is finished. So then we'll pick up everything.
At one time,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll fire it.
Yeah. Yeah, hopefully my little rose comes out like I put red, but then I put some like orange like kind of on top of it. So I wanted it to kind of be like red underneath and then have like a sheen of orange. We'll see.
I actually have seen roses that like I don't know, but like the bottom's either orange and the top's red, or the bottom's red and the top is orange. But
Yeah, those are so pretty, I think. That like bright red orange is like my favorite color right now.
Here, let me show you in a minute. I just have to paint. I just have to paint small areas, but I'll show you. I'll show
Okay,
you.
great. I would love to see.
Here. Yeah, here, here. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, cool. I love what you did.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Like all those little areas you kind of carved out, that's where you like put some color.
Yeah.
That's smart. I love it.
so this is what I have done so far.
Whoa.
Since my dad went to pick up my brother, since he won't hear me, I can tell you that this is going to be a present for my parents.
Oh, cute. Yeah, that looks really cool. Really cute. Love it. Love it.
Thank you. still have to clean up the table. Just put it more.
Awesome. Yeah, so I have my little star slab for tomorrow. And then I have my plate that I painted today. Yeah. And that's it, guys. That's it. How do you have like a little bit more painting to do, Aparna?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay, you can do that off the chat for sure.
Yeah.
And then just remember that piece, that slab, it out actually, so that it can dry out a little bit.
Mhm.
It doesn't have to be
Yeah.
so wrapped up. You want it to kind of get a little bit dry.
Mhm.
But I'm still gonna rub water on it so that I can cover some of the like cracks so it doesn't.
Yeah, get water and cover the cracks and stuff. But then when you're finished, lay it somewhere to dry. And then Chandler, bring those tomorrow. And then Aparna, have that with you tomorrow.
Okay.
Mhm.
Because I'm like, I do want to spread water over it, but we still want it to dry.
Yeah.
tomorrow to Heat it, right?
You want it to dry. Okay, girls. We'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.